Joffrey, Renly, Robb Stark are all thieves. They'll bend the knee or I'll destroy them.
The great train of wagons slowly crept their way into Sevenstar as the cold winter snow drifted down from the grey northern clouds. They were filled with food, supplies and men who'd suffered injuries in the latest conquest. Enger's bastard brother Harold Blackstar led them atop a great black stallion. Albert Morgoth rode beside him, the new-made Andal Lord of what the Northmen had called the Widow's Watch. They'd made the short journey south from the Blacksheet Hills for the great occasion that was to follow. All the other lords had already arrived from over Engor's lands. The new lord of the Hornwood, Sir Rogar Rak, would have been the last to arrive, but as of yet he hadn't left Sevenstar for his new seat on the very edge of Andalia's northern border, preferring to wait out the winter and celebrations before riding north with his lady wife in the spring. Engor's son and heir Ambrose would be accompanying him as his new ward, to learn from the Great Knight and to see more of what would one day be his kingdom. Engor hoped he would serve well and in time gain his knighthood. Everyone in Andalia had been invited to Sevenstar for Enger's coronation, from the highest lord to the smallest of small folk. He'd even put on escorts led by his own knights to safely bring all who wanted to attend to Sevenstar. He doubted any of them had ever seen a king crowned that wasn't done so under a damn tree, if at all. Here, though, they would witness a true coronation in the eyes of gods and men, blessed and anointed by a holy septon with his holy oils, the Seven's chosen one, Enger of House Sevenstar, first of his name, King of Andalia. Once the coronation was over, it would be followed by the second great northern tourney, and then a great summer fair once summer arrived, all a way of showing the power, wealth and prosperity of Sevenstar and House Sevenstar, gaining the respect and love of Andalia's people, and a flex of strength to any would-be foes. Harold stepped down off his horse, a great grin on that smug face of his. "Brother," he said, all smiled as he moved in for a hug. "Harold," Enger replied, as cold as ever with his bastard brother, "you are late. I trust you brought all that was requested. Follow me to the Great Hall, the final preparations have to be made." Enger sat himself atop his throne at the head of the room, a great seat made of the stump of the huge weirwood that once lived in the Godswood before Enger had it hacked down, the Godswood burnt and the Sept of Snow built where it once stood. Above which, a huge seven-pointed star hung, the main focal point of the room. The walls were lined with great torches and the disposed banners and shields of all the northern lords who had been defeated in conquest. Men-at-arms stood silent and disciplined, tall spears in hand, as Enger and his high lords discussed and made their final preparations. Suddenly the doors flew open with a gust of wind and snow. Snow clung to beard and fur in an icy grip as man and beast entered the castle, unannounced and unexpected by the guards. The man was tall and strong and wild, exactly the image one might conjure when asked to imagine a first man, and the great brown bear that padded along beside him doubly so. In the hall no one moved or spoke, or so much as breathed, their eyes affixed on the unwelcome pair. Enger raised his hands to command his guards to remain still, intrigued by the stranger in his hall. Reaching up a pair of calloused hands, he drew back his fur-lined hood and unveiled a tangle of deep brown curls, framing a face that was not disappointing to look upon. A thick cord looped around his neck, 3 seashells hanging from it, and at his belt was a sword with a wooden hilt, the same pale colour of a weirwood. And his deep brown eyes, there was understanding, something about them suggested that he knew more than any man ought to, realising where he truly stood in terms of significance. While he passed a candle they seemed to flash green. Panting and grunting and sniffing as he trucked along behind, the huge brown bear's paws sounded like thunder as he walked along. Even on all fours it was easy to tell that this bear was a giant among others of its kind. Bigger than anything that had ever been seen in the area around Sevenstar, or anywhere in Andalia for that matter. Curious, unafraid brown eyes traced every shape as its enormous head swept around, a pink tongue darting in and out every now and then, licking at its muzzle and shiny black nose. Where any normal beast might flee from so many men, this one seemed to pay all the guards and nobles alike no mind. At the end of the hall, before the seat of Enger, the man dropped to one knee, bowing his head, unbidden and as of yet nameless. Beside him the bear sat down with a hard thud shaking the ground where his bottom impacted. Damien, the king's bodyguard, stood forward, hand on sword, ready to draw. Enger ushered him to step aside. Men could say what they wanted about Damien. Rude, arrogant, dull, yet he was ferociously loyal to his king, and that's all Enger could ever ask for of him. He'd happily die for Enger if requested. "My name is Rob of the House Westling," he said, "and my companion here is Sir John. I have come far from the Westerlands to serve, if you would have me, of course." "And what would bring a Westerling of the crags so far north?" asked Enger curiously. A first man seeking to serve had not been unusual as of late, but there was something about this one that intrigued him, but also made him nervous. The Westerling's hand swept across the rearward hilt of his blade. "The gods have sent me. I see it in my dreams. This is where I'm needed," he responded. "And which gods do you serve?" asked the towering Stefan Roseheart, the only man in the room who did not seem in the least bit intimidated by man and beast both. An angry grunt ripped from Sir John's throat, his sharp teeth glistening. Rob placed a hand on the bear's head, calming him at once. "Forgive Sir John, he speaks out of turn, but he is a brave friend and true, and a terror on the battlefield," he explained, petting the bear soothingly. "And I have the great honour of saying the same of myself, if the king would have me." The bear spoke again before turning its gaze upon Enger. From the way it sat and how Rob petted it, it seemed little more than an abnormally large dog. A formidable duo to be sure, yet there was something about them that gave Enger shivers. Might have been their eyes, green for one brief moment, yet brown the next. Perhaps it was how the man could stand so unflinchingly close to a beast that had to have been twice his own height. Or mayhaps it was the pale hilt of the rearward sword, and how from where Enger sat every crease and gorge in the woods seemed to be a face watching him. "If you wish to join me, then you must first profess your faith in the Seven," the king cautioned him. "Should you choose not to, I shall allow you to leave unmolested, but the gods are gods and men are but men, and swords steel. It is you I mean to serve, your grace," Sir John bellowed out his approval in a coarse howl as Rob drew the rearward sword, the blade flashing as he laid it at the king's feet. "But if you will it, I shall be anointed by one of your septons and pray to your seven gods, and even be called sir like my bear. In return, I ask for meat and mead and a seat by your hearth, so that I may lead songs of victory in your name and the names of your heirs for years to come." At that, Enger simply smiled, rose from his throne and descended the steps to accept the man's fealty. Hello everyone, Grand Maester Stitch here and welcome back to the Citadel for the Knights of the North. I'm super happy as, thanks to you awesome people, I have recently reached 1,000 subscribers, so thank you so much for that. I am doing a giveaway, giving away 4 copies of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, which contains all 3 Duncan Egg books so far. I'm giving away 4 copies of that. To enter that, please look in the description down below. It's free to enter and hopefully 4 of you will be gaining a copy, and good luck to whoever gains that. But first, right now, let's get it straight back into the King of the North as King Enger Hotspur of Andalia. I hope you enjoyed the introduction for those who watch it. Okay, we've still got diarrhea, I've just noticed. I just wanted to see what that said. Right, so yes, we've got a lot of custom characters to get through at the beginning of this episode. I fell behind a little bit on custom characters. I was a little bit slack, but I had a very busy week and I made 8 to go into this episode. So thank you for bearing with me, those of you. Some of you recommended these guys a long time ago, so I thank you for sticking by me and not getting agitated when I didn't add them in. But I've added 8 in who I felt could come into the story at this point without feeling out of place. So we'll get to them. Obviously, one is Rob, who was in the intro, and Sir John, who I absolutely love, and I want to thank Tortuga for that awesome character, as well as all the amazing lore and details and script that you sent me about that character. I absolutely loved it, and it really made my making my introduction a lot easier, so thank you so much. Right, so let's have a look if we can find them. We've got a hell of a lot of courtiers now. We might have to start sending some of them to our other lords. But who have we got first? Let's see who we can find. We have got Damien, who we obviously met a little bit of in the introduction. I'm sorry that I can't include all of them in the introduction with a massive bit of lore and detail, else it would go on all day, and I'm sure you'd get very frustrated with that just wanting to see the game and not listening to me blabber on. Some of you might not even like the introductions, but I know some of you do, so... And I do really enjoy writing them. But yes, we have Damien, who is the rude, disgruntled knight. He's zealous, doesn't really care about anyone, a bit dull, but he's a ferocious bodyguard, and he is fiercely loyal to his king. He's disfigured as well, and not many people in court like him, but he's huge, he's strong, he can fight, and he defends the king with his life. Next up, we have Albert Morgoth, who was made by Albert in the Discord server. It's one of his personal characters that he uses on his YouTube channel. He's just started a YouTube channel called AT Gaming, so make sure you get over there and check it out and support him, as he's only just starting out, and I'm sure he'd really appreciate the support. He really knows his Game of Thrones stuff as well, like me. But yep, here's his personal character, who's now part of our kingdom, and he's a brilliant steward, he's shrewd, a trained fighter, he's quick, an architect, an administrator, kind, chaste, honourable and temperate. And this guy is going to be our new Lord of Widow's Watch, but we'll get to that in a moment. Who have we got next? We have got Davos Redguard, who is a dutiful commander, a brilliant steward. He's brawny, strong, a knight, a trained fighter, ambitious, diligent, wrath, greedy and zealous. Forgive me if I'm wrong, I get mixed up, but I believe this guy is a blacksmith from the Vale, who has come north. And we also have... I'm getting confused with who is who. We have Harold Woodcox, who is a... Woodaxe, sorry, who's a bit of a Barristan Selmy, to be honest. He's an absolute formidable fighter. He's a knight, he's strong, he's tall, he's celibate, he's scarred, he's a giant, he's a strategist, he's zealous, brave and wrath. And I know he was meant to be a little bit older, but in character creator it only allows you to go up to 50, so he couldn't be as old as you wanted him to be, but he is still a complete badass with that 30 martial, and he will be another one of our bodyguards. And then we have Arthur Hunter, who is a fifth-born son of Lord Hunter of the Vale, who's not really wanted by his father. He has been kicked out of the Vale for refusing to turn against the Arryns, so he has come north, and we have obviously allowed him into our court because he's an Andor, he's a lordling as well, so, and maybe he'll find some new lands of his own up here which are better than his father's lands anyway. Then we have Rob Westerlin, who we obviously met in the introduction, a member of House Westerlin. He is a brilliant commander, an aggressive leader, a trickster. He's strong, brawny. He has a brown bear, obviously, Sir John. He's a skilled fighter, a duelist, brave, shy, patient, and just. And he is Faith of the Seven, even though he's a first man, but obviously his loyalty to the Seven is questionable. And then we have Mira Reed as well, who is a competent steward, attractive, a poor fighter, cynical, lustful, and a family person and patient. And I believe she's the wife of Davos Redguard, unless I've got mixed up. I'm so sorry if I have. And I think that's... No, it's not. And then we have Alander Salzard as well, who is an absolute religious nutjob and a fanatic, and I absolutely love this character. He's a brilliant commander, he's a holy warrior, a knight, brawny, a giant, scarred, a duelist, he's diligent, paranoid, wrath, content, cruel, proud, brave, zealous, and a lunatic. And I've just realised I forgot to put his fighting skill in, so I apologise for that, but don't worry, I will fix that and add that after this episode. So yeah, that is all our new custom characters for this week, and now we have the names of the new areas to sort out before we crack on. So we had a lot of names put forward for Widow's Watch, and I absolutely love a lot of them. We've got Crone's Watch, Mother's Watch, and then we had two of the same one, which is actually my favourite and the one that I'm going to go for, and that we had 2 votes for it is even better, and that is Warrior's Watch. Very fitting with the 7, and I really like that. So yeah, we are going to rename the Lordship of Widow's Watch to Warrior's Watch. It'll fit with the 7 and fit with all the theme that we've got going on with all our other areas that we've got around here, our other kingdoms, not kingdoms, our other duchies and lordships. So Warrior's Watch. There we go. That looks awesome now. Warriors Watch. And then I'm also going to change the High Lordship of the Broken Branch to the High Lordship of the Warrior's Way, which is an awesome name, and that was put forward by Dick White. Again, coming up with some amazing names as well as his amazing characters. He's obviously the guy who came up with Andalia, and he actually does help me out and give me a lot of feedback for this series, so I'm really thankful for that. So there we go, we've got our new areas sorted out, our new lordship. I've also got the city of Goldenfield, which I need to change one of the cities around here too, so we will do that at some point for all the fertile land that we've got around Sevensport. I think when we build another city in Sevensport, we'll name that the city of Goldenfield. So obviously, as we found out in the introduction, we are preparing for our coronation, so let's apply for our coronation now that we've found our new kingdom. We are going to organise a coronation ceremony. Begin preparation for my coronation ceremony as king. It is impressive for me to be crowned by a distinguished member of the faith's clergy in order to legitimise my divine right to rule. Start preparing for your coronation ceremony. The time has fallen. The time has finally come for me to be officially recognised as King of Andalia. In order to do this, I will need the support of the faith. But convincing authoritative members will neither be easy nor cheap. To begin the preparations, I should find a priest willing to crown me. Send for the most powerful septon in the realm, which is Septon Perwin, who absolutely loves us, so we should do. Any priest will do. No, we want Septon Perwin, who we know very well, so yeah, it'd be great if he was the one to crown us. And that's a good point. I need to sort out my new lords, don't I? So Warrior's Watch is obviously going to... Where are you? Sir Albert Morgoth. There you are. Let's marry you off first. We need to arrange a marriage for you. And I'm going to marry you to... Let's find her. I know that she'll be on here, down in... the Andals. Oh, the game jumped a little bit there. Doesn't happen very often for me. I know other people can have issue with it. We've got Roslyn, who is our daughter. She is actually now old enough to marry, so we could marry her to you. But I was thinking Gretchel, our niece, our twin sister's daughter, who should be around here somewhere, but for some reason she's not. I wonder if she's been married off without us knowing. Never mind, that we will marry you. Now that we've got two sons, we'll marry you to our daughter. You will marry Lady Roslyn Sevenstar. Here she is. So, we'll lose 300 prestige for doing so because you're a courtier, but I want to marry you off before granting you the land. Oh, you've not got a knighthood either. Yeah, I'll knight you. Your son-in-law Albert has proven himself to be a fine warrior. You have him kneel before you and proceed to tap his shoulders with your sword. Albert of the House Morgoth, in the name of the warrior, I charge you to be brave. In the name of the father, I charge you to be just. In the name of the mother, I charge you to defend the young and innocent. In the name of the maid, I charge you to protect all women. In the name of the seven, I charge you to be just and honourable. Rise, Sir Albert. And Sir Albert, you will have your new home, the Lordship of Warrior's Watch. Send. There we go. So we now have a new Lord of Warrior's Watch. And then we now need to give the Hornwood to Sir Rogar Rak, our good friend, and also the guardian of our son, Ambrose. So we'll give him the Lordship of the Hornwood. So there we go. And then now we've got the High Lordship of the Hornwood, which should probably go to the Lord of Hornwood. But then obviously we've got our nephew in this lordship, we've got our bastard brother, and our sister's and our daughter's husband. So we've actually got 3 family members who are very influential in there. But we will still give it to Lord Rogar Rak, I think. We will give him the High Lordship of the Warrior's Way. Now that we're a kingdom, we should be alright to do that. But then we lose the vassal. We'll keep it for now. We'll keep it for now. Just until we get a few more lordships, we will keep that. But let's unpause just to let our army get home, which is still on its way home. Okay, King Enger Hotspur fulfilled the ambition to become a higher lord. Perfect, so we need a new ambition. Now, what ambitions do we have left? See the realm prosper, build a war chest, tame a dragon, expand realm by we'll go with expand realm by conquest, because then we won't hopefully have to get my mind has gone blank. A claim. We won't have to fabricate a claim. We're trying to fabricate a claim on Moat Caden anyway, because I want to take that so that we have all around the white knife, or the white star as it is now known. Right, we need to find marriages for all our new custom characters, because they have a habit of just disappearing if you do not marry them off. And obviously we also want to make sure that these new houses carry on, apart from the ones who are celibate and cannot marry. Your wisdom and mercy are legendary. We request that you honour your obligation and answer the call to arms. No. I don't need the relationship with you anymore anyway. We've got enough land. I did say we were just using them. And I'm not getting in a war with the huge kingdoms down south. I want no part of that at all. Davos Redguard. Now I want you to marry, what's her name, as she is actually in our court. Where is she? Because you're meant to be married to her, and I forgot to actually add her as your spouse in the editor. So we're going to have to do it. Do it the old-fashioned and normal way. Where is Mira? Maybe if we find her first instead and do it that way, maybe a little bit easier. We'll sort their marriage. I'll sort their marriage out in the editor. It'll be a little bit easier, but let's marry off the others to anyone that we can find. Damien is not chaste, so he can find a bride. I don't know if anyone would want to marry this man, but we'll try and find him a bride anyway. Marissa Courtier in the Westmarch. She's a high tower. Marissa Hightower. Well, I think a high tower might be a little bit out of your reach, if I'm perfectly honest, not to be harsh. Here we go. What about this? She's a sworn shield of Andal Coast. She'll do you. And she's attractive, so maybe between you might make a decent child, considering you look a bit of a mess. I do apologise. And we have Harold Woodcock's is chase, so he can't marry. Arthur Hunter, though, we will find you a bride. Let's have a look what Andal brides we've got. I'd normally go in the character search to find one for myself, but I'm not as bothered who we marry these guys to, as it's not going to be as important. We just want to make sure they carry on their line. Here we go, a Vale man, just like yourself. And then we've got Rob Westerlin. We'll also find you a bride to carry on your family name in our court. Wouldn't matter if it was an old god bride either for you, would it? If it's one from our kingdom, it's not actually going to be much of an issue for you, so we could marry you to someone a little bit more local. Here we go. And is that everybody? Will Alan de Salzard? Yeah, he can marry. Would anyone want to marry him? He's a complete psycho, but then maybe as your chase, it's hard to get you a bride. Well, you're not going to marry an old god bride, are you? That's just, yeah, that's never going to happen. Here we go. She'll do. And there we go. Right, now let's unpause and get on to the coronation. And then once the coronation is done, we will also be having a grand tourney to celebrate as well. To the excellent King Enger of Andalia, I shall be honoured to officiate His Grace's coronation. I eagerly await His Grace's instructions regarding date and manner of the ceremony in order to better prepare myself for this sacred duty. Ever His Grace's servant, Septon Perwing of Snow. Marvellous. Now that I have found a faith of the 7 priests willing to crown me, I must decide how much I want to spend on the ceremony. It shall be an extravagant ceremony. Yes, it's going to be very extravagant, as we learnt from the intro. We want all men, small and great, to be there from the Kingdom of Andalia. We want to show the small folk just how good of a king they have, as well as make all the other small folk of the north and courtiers of House Stark envious of just how good Andalia is and make them want to obviously join us. Only a few more days remain before I am crowned king before the gods and all my subjects. My court is filling with distinguished guests, both vassals and foreign dignitaries, coming to bear witness to this fundamental moment of my reign. Such a lavish ceremony is a rare spectacle to behold, and even amongst royalty, it will never be soon enough. So that's coming out very soon. This morning, a curious visitor came to my court, a wandering scholar who travelled to Sevensport after hearing news of my upcoming coronation. He claims that he has heard many tales of what a wise and virtuous ruler I am, and wishes to put his knowledge to my service. You are welcome. How much is a tourney again? Are we going to have enough to do a tourney? I want to hold a summer fair as well once it is summer, and that will obviously be for the small folk. And we need 75 gold for a tourney, so we should have enough for that soon. Your Grace, as a high-ranking heir of House of Andal Coast, I do not see it wise to give up my family name to marry Damien. But this was agreed. Fine, you can keep your family name as it won't matter so much for Damien. Lord Albert decided to pick a fight with me during tonight's feast. For whatever reason, he has come up to the conclusion that I am an ungrateful hypocrite. Oh. It's not very nice, is it, Albert? I see how it is. Well, I hate you too. So, me and Lord Albert of Warrior's Watch, who I've just married to my daughter and given great land, has decided he hates me and thinks I'm an ungrateful hypocrite and decided to have a fight with me. So, thanks for that, Albert. And that has just reminded me of the new custom series that will be coming this Friday. Obviously, I did the sneak peek to it, the Rise of House Grand, my personal custom house with all the Discord members in it. And if you want to join in, you have to be a member of the Discord. But I really hope stuff like that goes down in that series with all the Discord members in, because that could be absolutely hilarious. I kneel before Septon Perwin as a host of lords surround us in complete silence. Septon blesses me and places a crown upon my head, proclaiming me King of Andalia by the grace of the gods. I am finally and truly king. Enger of Andalia has been crowned and anointed by a Septon, gaining 75 prestige and 75 piety. I thought we'd get a bit more than that, if I'm honest, but we do have a hell of a lot of piety. Right, we need to disband these men now they're home. So that's that. We are now officially King of Andalia. And I also forgot that at the end of the last episode we obviously got the bloodline, in case you missed that. Sevenstar now has its own bloodline, which is absolutely epic. Hey up, House Stark are off to war again, defending against... Oh, okay, there's an Andal invasion happening. During the last few days, my half-brother Master Owen has been clutching at his stomach and made frequent visits to the privy. I have now been informed that he is suffering from dynastry. Again, call a physician at once. Our brother always seems to be ill. Now, we want to make sure that this Andal host does not succeed, because we don't want them coming and taking our... He's got 7,000 men. We don't want them coming along and taking our kingdom. They can do one. Oh no! Daisy Rack has died from the dreaded plague. Oh my god, my wife is pregnant again. She is popping out children, even at her age. 37? Okay, she's not that old, but normally on the game, they don't pop them out like that. But yeah, Roger Rack's wife, Daisy, has died. That's a sad day. What did she die of? The dreaded plague. How the hell did you get the dreaded plague? That's good news that our wife is pregnant again. We're going to need to find Lord Rogar a new bride. Hopefully he'll find himself a new bride soon and have more children, as one child is not going to be enough to carry on his family name properly. Let's have a look at epidemics. Well, there's no epidemics going on around here, so I've got no idea where she's picked up the dreaded plague from, but I really hope it doesn't start spreading. We need a Hand of the King. Well, Albert would have made a good Hand of the King, but considering how he's behaving and the fact that he hates us, I'm not going to go for him. I'm going to go for... I think there's only one man it can be, really, isn't it? And where is he? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you, actually? Oh, you're already our Master at Arms, aren't you? I was going to go for Lord Stefan. What about Lord Colmore? He's not got a job in there, so he should be here. So where is Lord Colmore? He's not died as well, has he? He's definitely got better Marshal than that, so I don't know why he's not popping up. So it'll probably have to be Rogar Rat then. We'll go with Rogar Hack as our Hand of the King for now. And he can... Yeah, pacify Sevensport for now. I always imagined I would be the first of us to go, but now I am the one in mourning. The departure of my dear friend. Never again will I hear Owen's jolly laugh or receive his wise counsel. It is as if I have lost an essential part of myself. I feel so powerless. Our brother has died, attending to chamber business, and his wife died of cancer as well. Damn. Things have not been going well for him or his wife, but he has had... Wow, he's had 2 stillborns as well, as we already knew and I'd forgot about. But Lennox Sevenstar is still going, his son, so at least he's still alive, and he is also under guardianship of Rogar. Owen wouldn't want me to cry. Let's drink to his honour. Leave me alone, I don't want your sympathy. We get depressed. Friendship will only hurt you in the end. Remove yourself from all your... No, we don't want to do that. Owen wouldn't want me to cry. Let's drink in his honour. And remember our brother... For the great brother and the great lord that he was. That means that his Valyrian steel sword is going to have passed on to his young son as well now then. I've probably already had one drink too many when I am joined at the table by an equally intoxicated woman. It takes me a few minutes to realise, but surely it must be Ismira. We spend quite some time drinking together and sharing our sorrows. Perhaps a new friend is just what I need. Yeah, we'll make a new friend. We have quite a lot of friends. How is Sir Stefan Roseheart doing? Yet he's still okay, so that's right. And Lord Colmore's still around, but wow, he's getting very old now. Sir Jorin has arrived at your court. Sir Jorin the Exile. I've got no idea who you are or where you've come from. We still need to make a bit of money so that we can have our great Tornet. Colmore Roseworth has arrived at your court, and he's a bastard. Oh yeah, because he had Lustful, didn't he? Who's his mother? Dalla of Footy Hall. Okay. Oh no, they're married, so why is he a bastard when they're married? Howard has shown time and again that he wishes to be my friend. After so many shows of courteous behaviour, I find myself increasingly obligated to return the favour. He certainly is a good acquaintance. So we're getting to know each other a bit better, even though obviously we're not the biggest fan of our bastard brother. Through no fault of his own, of course. Just need to save that money up now for our Torna. In the name of our celebration, we want a lot of celebrations. We also need the money so that we can carry on upgrading Sevensport. It is currently a mild winter as well, but that shouldn't take too long. Your Grace, loyal servants such as I surely deserve some recognition and rewards from time to time. It is widely known that you hold huge lands and many titles are generous as you are wise. Perhaps you would consider granting the humble servant the high lordship of the Warrior's Way. Yours, Lord Danes of Maidengate of House Sevenstar. In exchange for a favour, of course, this greed does not become you. I will not be giving it to you, nephew. And you can hate us all you want for that, yet your opinion of us has dropped massively, but I don't care. And Kristen Silvereye has been born. Awesome. A son to House Silvereye, and he's been born with the strong trait as well, which is awesome. And 2 martial. Wow. You could be pretty impressive, so we definitely want to give you the struggle focus quickly and find you a guardian straight away. Someone with... Okay, just disappeared. Yeah, we want to give you a guardian with great martial. Harold's a bit old. Let's send you to Rob Westerling. Give him a guardian. And then we've also got a couple more that needed a guard. Well, he was a bastard, wasn't he? So we're not the biggest fan of bastards. And we need a High Admiral now. We've actually got room for a High Admiral. Who I'm going to give that to, I'm not sure, because we've not really got any Admiral type warriors, so I don't know who would be the best choice for that. Not sure at all who would be the best choice for that. Let's have a little look through. See who we've got. We could give it to our nephew. Get him back on side a little bit. I think we will. All crown loyalists though, which is awesome. It's always great. Have we got any more? Yeah, we're going to... We'll take our friends off from being our bodyguards now that we've got more than enough knights to be bodyguards. And we'll go with Harold. And we'll take Lord Rogar away. Oh, yes, we've had another son. We'll take Lord Rogar away. And... Rob... Or Roos, or Davos, or Arthur. We've got so many awesome people who could be great bodyguards now. Who is the best one? Probably Rob. The others are more religious. Roos though. No, we'll go with Roos Lancer, a young knight. We'll go with him. We need a new keeper of the swans. We'll go with Albert. Let's see if we can get him on side a little bit more, considering he hates us for no reason. We need a new cupbearer. We will go with... Who do we go with for a cupbearer? Who can we trust? Obviously Rogar, our bastard brother. I don't think we'd want to do that as a character. I'd like to go with one of our old wards, but it looks like we can't. So we'll go with... Danis, because he's the younger one. Paramount Knight. Ooh, Paramount Knight. Well, it doesn't look like we can do... we could go with Harold, our Sworn Shield. Considering how old he is, he's very... Yeah, we'll go with Harold. Court Tutor we've already got. King's Justice, yeah, all sorted. Room for 2 new commanders. We'll go with Harold. And we'll go with... Go with Rob as well. And we can replace some of these other ones. We'll replace Wilbert. He's just our siege expert for when we need a siege. And we'll go with... we'll go with Osmond Silvereye. There we go. So that's all sorted out. Right, we've got a new son. And we will name you... There's only one name we can call you. Considering our brother has just died, we will name you Owen after our late brother. Let's have a look at you. Oh, wow. Oh, yes, he's one of those genius children. Look at that. Quick. Straight away, born with quick and free in everything. That is awesome. That is absolutely... Oh, what do we want to train you in? What do we train you in when you're that good at everything straight away? We will leave it for now and see which one you progress in first. And for a Guardian, we will give you... Who is our smartest? Could just give you to Pera for now, or... We'll go with Arlen Pickwood for now. You can go with him for now until we see what you start developing in. But oh wow, we've had it's a Child of Destiny, I believe it's called, isn't it? I'm sure that's what it's called. Right, we've nearly got enough money now to do our tournament. We'll do all the celebrating, get our land prospering, and then we're going to expand by conquest once again as we start heading. I think after Moat Cailin, we'll head west. The Barrowland's very fertile, lots of horses and cavalry, further getting more horses for our knights. Try and keep it lore-wise. Obviously, it doesn't make a difference on the game, but I like to try and keep it realistic like that. Your Grace, I write to express my consternation at the fact Harold Woodaxe enjoys command of your armies when someone of high status would clearly be more appropriate. Lord Wilbert of the Bane of Hornwood. Harold's doing a fine job, thank you, Wilbert. I do change and bring you in when we need to have you in there. I like to change them around, so stop being a little bitch and just wait. You'll get your chance. Just need one more gold to host our tourney. There we go. We've got enough gold now. It's going to bankrupt us, but I wanted to do it as part of the celebration. So a small local tourney, a large regional tourney. I don't want to hold a tourney after all. No, a large regional tourney, which is going to make us a little bit bankrupt, but we'll soon make that money back. We have a decent income. It's just the fact that it's winter at the moment, I think, that is making it so hard to get that income. It's time to let the tournament begin, and for the next 2 months, let's all show their martial brilliance. Lord Weil the Handsome has declared the Sisters League Independence War on King Osric the Mad. Oh, that's good. I really, really hope that they win. I really hope the Sisters win this war for independence, because I want to claim the Sisters so that we can hold dominion over the Bight. And then for lore's sake and like role-playing sake, we then obviously hold power over all trade routes coming in to the Bight. The first day's jousting is complete, with many lesser riders having already been eliminated from the competition. Now, over the coming days, the remaining men shall compete in the final list, tilting until one champion remains. Fine jousters, all of them. I will watch every tilt. Perhaps I can place a bet. Yes, we will place a bet. And I'm going to place the bet on who wins every time, and I've missed out every time. Why can't we place the bet? It was Lord Christian Bloom and Harold Woodaxe turned to joust in the list, 2 old men, and Harold won soundly. In the final tilt, Lord Christian was sent flying from the saddle in a hail of shattered lance pieces. He landed with a sickening crunch, clearly grievously injured. Most unfortunate. Hopefully he's okay. Marshal Lord Stefan caught the peddlers selling stolen goods red-handed. Execute them publicly. Minus a 10 revolt risk, or seize their goods and lock them up. 15 gold. I think we're safe from revolt, so we'll take the money just to try and get ourselves out of bankruptcy. Lord Wilbert Josso and Lord Albert Morgoth were the next to joust in the list. After many tilts and broken lances, Lord Albert was eventually unhorsed, leaving Lord Wilbert to be declared the winner. Oh yeah, I forgot Lord Wilbert was such a fine tourney knight. That's how we found him in the first place, wasn't it? The tourney being held in Sevensport is bringing in many visitors to the area. The surrounding roads, inns and villages are reportedly busy, and Sevenport itself is full of merchants and small folk selling their wares. This is a welcome boost. The prosperity of your capital county increases. Perfect. That's a good point, actually. We now have a much better Master of Coin, don't we, in Albert, so we'll make him our new Master of Coin. I forgot about that, and get him collecting taxes for us. There we go. Lord Stefan Rosa and Harold Woodaxe were the next to joust. After many tilts and broken lances, Harold was eventually unhorsed, leaving Lord Stefan to be declared the winner. Well, obviously, he wins it every flipping time. Why is it not letting me place a bet? After many tilts over several days, only 2 knights remained undefeated. Lord Stefan Rosehart and Lord Wilbert Josso faced each other in the final joust, and after many tilts of finally executed jousting, Lord Wilbert was unhorsed, leaving Lord Stefan Rosehart to be declared the winner of the tourney again. How many? You've now got 3 small tourney wins and 1 regional tourney win. You are an absolute beast of a tourney knight. You are like the best tourney knight ever. You are epic. Barris and Selmy, eat your heart out. But there we go, the tourney of Sevensport is, well, Andalia is over again, but at least it made us prosper a lot better. When Timon plays with the other children, he seems to favour those who are the closest of relation. Timon Bloom, oh yes, our new squire. Hopefully we do, well, he's not a squire, is he? He's just our new ward. Hopefully he does better than his older brother did, who turned into a bit of a prick. When Timon so he should be more charitable. He can only be himself, loses the trait affectionate, gains the trait family person. No, we'll let him become charitable, there's no wrong with that. Dudley of High Point's Peasant Revolt has declared Peasants' Revolt for High Point on King Theon the Hungry Wolf. This is not good for the Starks. That Andal invasion coming and now a revolt. I really don't want them to not win this war. The tournament is over, and now it is time to bask in the glory. A glorious event. Gain 25 prestige. All participants and spectators of the tourney, plus 5 opinion of King Enger Sevenstar. How many men do the Starks have for this war? 5,000. They are going to lose. They're going to get butchered. Defending against Tyler Hammersmith of Hammersmith's Host. Where currently are you? I'm a little bit worried. Your Septon Perwin of Snow, reports that Master Edric of Hardmead has been humbled by your endless generosity to the poor in Sevensport. The peasants are singing your name. Master Edric of Hardmead, who are you? Our vassal. So our brother's son doesn't own that city anymore then. Okay, I thought it would have passed on to his son. I hope the Valyrian Steel Sword did. I don't really want that going out of the family. Don't forget as well, guys, to join the Discord server. I don't know if I've mentioned in this video, but we'd absolutely love to have you in there, especially if you want to take part in the Grand series and get your own custom character yourself with a custom name into that series. Just no overpowered traits, so we can try and keep it a little bit more realistic. I've had to do a lot of tweaking for that series. I'm going to be starting off in the Blackwater Rush, where King's Landing would one day stand, but it isn't there, and it's Grandport, a much smaller city at that time. Your Grace, King Enger, Langwood Hall is under attack from the Reach and is in need. I am not fighting the Reach. Not a chance I'm getting involved against the Reach. I have nowhere near enough men to try and take on the Reach. 7.81 thousand. We do have quite a big host, and it'll only get better. But yeah, there is no way I am going to try and take on the Reach. And that's a good point. That's something that I've not done yet. We need to change the faith of, do we go Hornwood or Warrior? We'll go Warrior's Watch to get all this blue and then work north to the Hornwood. But yeah, we need to get that on, get them converted over to the faith of the 7. Have we yet had any more Andal Northmen? Obviously, a couple of areas changed, but not all of them. And I want to see if it's spread yet. Yeah, no, I don't think it has. I think it was... I think these 3 were all Andal Northmen anyway. The others are slowly converting by the looks of it, but... The economy is very good in Sevenport, but not the other areas, so we need to do something about that. We've still probably got some of the best areas, well, by far the best areas in the north for economy. Carhold doesn't look too bad, so once we get our hands on that, that'll probably improve. Winterfell's not very good at all. But yeah, we're by far the best. We're very good, actually. A lot better than even a lot of the southern kingdoms, so that's good. Once we carry on improving that. Let's get back to... I love how it's changed from white to pinkish white now. Lord Harold has been very insistent about spending some time with me recently. He hopes that we will be on better terms if only we take a few days to know each other better. Sounds like a marvellous idea. We get some prestige off that. He's really insistent that we get closer to him, isn't he? Lord Harold has prepared a grandiose welcoming parade for my arrival. The Lord of Blacksheep Hills greets me in person as soon as I cross the gates of his palace, asking me if I had a good travel. How nice to meet you, Lord Harold. He is such a brown nose. It is funny, though. How's his son coming along, Colmer Blackstar? Not too bad. Who's his... Lord Kristen is his guardian. It's a good point, actually. We've probably got a few more children that we need to sort out. King Theon of the Hungry Wolf has inherited Castle of Drunkard's Tower from Commander Andrian of Drunkard's Tower. During my long visit, Harold entertained me with many stories about his past fights, describing all actions in great detail. It was an overall pleasant experience. This was surely an interesting experience. Oh yes, Enger, it surely was. We're nearly out of bankruptcy, so that we can soon hopefully hold our summer fair. Search for a smith. Can we do that for a crown? To get ourselves a new crown. Seek treatment for illness. Have we still got diarrhea? I thought that we'd got rid of that a long time ago. Pera Hornsby is worried you're infected with the great sickness. She insists that you follow her and oh, for God's sake. Very well. We don't want to die straight away after becoming a king. That would be really frustrating. And very typical of Crusader Kings 2. It always happens to me. To relieve you of your worst alignments, Perry suggests that you should spend some time in prayer. I'm not sure that did anything. Well, we are zealous, though. Of course it did something, Enger. How dare you doubt the gods? Can we actually declare war? No, not until we... Oh, we're in debt in well, aren't we? How are you doing in the war against the invaders? Defending. War score in favour. Okay, not good. Not looking good. We need to sort out some guardians. This has been a bit of an episode of getting the coronation done, getting some guardians done, getting marriages done, getting titles and lands out so that we can then expand again, hopefully, in the next episode. Try and get some more land while Enger is obviously king, to leave a good... leave the realm in a good, strong position for his son. Well, 3 sons that he now has. Prince Owen, that is still crazy. I can't believe how good he is. That is awesome. Right, wow. Princess Roslyn of Andalia and Lord Albert have had a daughter already. Belena and Morgoth. How is she? She's ugly. Sorry, Albert. We'll leave her. She's not got any traits or anything yet, so we won't bother sorting out her guardian just yet. What about our sister? She had any more children? No, just the Lord Danis, who has had a son called Enger Sevenstar, who is good in diplomacy. So we'll find you a guardian. Let's get you a good guardian who's good in diplomacy. Pera again, it's always Pera, isn't it, for Diplomacy? Poor old Pera, she gets a lot of guardians. Let's go back, and then your sister, Enger Sevenstar, who is still unmarried. Wow, she's really good. She's got some awesome traits. We do need to find her a husband at some point. Could marry you to Rogar Rack, but then again, he's a lot older than you, like 30, 40 years older. Kristen Bloom, you've not had any more children yet, have you? Olivia Grafton. What about Sir Colmer Bloom? He's still unmarried. Can invite him to court. No, he's not interested. Can we arrange a marriage, though, to get him married, to make sure your family name carries on? I want to make sure your family name doesn't disappear. Could marry him to Enger Sevenstar, but that'd be a waste of Gretel. So we'll marry him. Let's marry him to Tandar, our courtier. Yes, just so we can get the Bloom family to carry on. We don't want it to fade away. And then Lord Stefan, obviously his son, Sir Medgar Roseheart, is also unmarried. So let's arrange a marriage for him. Let's marry him to Tanda Capald. The Capolds, a lot of Capolds about. John Roseheart, who's with Pera Hornsbear, and Maya Wow, you've got good stewardship. So let's assign Guardian, and we'll send you to Lord Albert, and it will not allow us to send you there. Never mind. And you've got a sister, Maya Roseheart, who, wow, 5 Marshal. And no, you are not being done by a Maester. We will get you a much better Guardian than that. We will send you to... Let's send you to... Oh. Do that again. Send you to Harold. No, can't do that. Send you to Stefan. No, why can we not send you to anyone? Roos? Never mind, we'll let you sort that out for yourself then, if you're going to be like that. I don't know why it's being like that, which is very annoying. But this episode has probably gone on for quite some time now, so I will end this episode here. I'll forward things along a little bit to get ourselves out of bankruptcy and get ourselves ready. And then, hopefully, in the next episode, we can expand a little bit more. We need to get that claim on Moat Cailin, which is taking forever, so that we can claim that and build a new fort there. Get rid of those horrible ruins that have been there for a long time and build an actual fort there. Then it really will be impassable, and no one is going to invade our kingdom when we do finally have it. I'm not sure if I even want the neck yet. Would we want the neck? I don't know. But we'll find out. Thank you all so much for watching, as always. I do hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. I'm really enjoying that series still, and I know a lot of you are, and I really thank you all for watching, and a big thank you again for helping me reach those 1,000 subscribers. Please do not forget to enter the giveaway so you have a chance of getting a free copy of the Duncan and Egg books. Any custom characters yet, just let me know, as always, and don't forget to check out the Grand series if you like my custom series. It's going to be like this, with all the intros very similar to this, but just a very different story, different characters. But if you enjoy this series and how I role play and how I do the introductions, then I'm sure you'll enjoy that one as well. So thank you all once more, and hopefully I'll see you very soon for my next video.